Hello, I've set the engine block up on the engine stand and I've just gone along all of these valve bowls with the Buma valve cutting tool. Now I'm going to say 8 years ago, whenever it was that I put this engine together, I went around the bowls with a die grinder or something. I didn't have a die grinder, so, you know, electric drill with a rotary burr, and I kind of licked them out as best as I could, you know, to my best of my ability, but they were a bit uneven. I've just been through with this tool and kind of evened them up. In that area there, look, there's a bit that hasn't touched. That means that I've gone out further than that when I did it by hand some time ago. And this is the exhaust port, which again, there's an area there where I went deeper when on the initial job. Hello, I've just used the Buma valve seat cutter to cut the bowls on this side. I did the other side yesterday and I can sort of see a pattern. Basically, when I came to this a few years ago and started hugging these bowls out, I must have done this one first and this one, because the cutter hardly touched anything in that one and that one and this one. And then as I came further down the line, and that one hardly touched anything there, it's making, in this one it's took a fair old cut. I must have done all the inlets first. Yeah, that's got a bit more of a cut, hasn't it? In other words, I was beginning to get a bit tired of doing it by the time I got round here. And then you can see that that's took quite a big cut all the way around. Can you see how much more I'm taking off this side than the other side? In other words, I didn't port this side out anywhere near. And that one there, look, one of the inlets, look, it's gone virtually 180 degrees. You know, it's on the other side, the original side, the one that I started on, it hardly touched anything. And that one there, look, 180 degrees. But at least now, all of these ports, all of these bowls rather, are cut to the same or slightly more than that cutter at a certain depth. What I want to do is to look at the seats, because there's some sort of strange goings on with these seats. I think the tools that I had at my disposal before were a bit inferior. And if that's where the valve was contacting on the outside edge, that inside bit there was restricting it, so I need to hug that all out really. Okay, I've got a lot to learn, haven't I? I've got a lot to learn. Okay, I will continue then, and I'll bring you back when I've made some progress. Cheers then, back in a bit. Hello. I have been cleaning these seats and I'm using this New Way cutter, and I'm using this guide, which is on a split guide there so it can expand. And what I've been doing is putting it like that, using the electric drill on it, just turning it gently like that. And then what I've been doing is loosening it, turning the guide 180 degrees and just giving it another little go, just in case there's any slight misalignment, so it kind of equalises it out. And you can see that the exhaust ports have a narrow seat and the inlet ports have a wide seat, because I don't quite know how I'm going to do it yet, but I've got to try and chamfer that out, because these are at 1.6 and these are at 1.5. I'm self-taught at this. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong or right. I don't know if you're supposed to use oil on these actually. This is a that was the first cut on this seat. That looks a bit light up there, so what I'll do, I'll turn the guide round. I've got my strong glasses on, I can't see anything that's further than about 2 foot away. Okay. That's looking directly down. Look, can you see that there's a... It's a bit light top right and it's a bit heavy top bottom left. Let's see if that moving it 180 degrees kind of equals it up a bit. I know you're going to say 2 wrongs don't make a right, but what else am I going to do? That looks okay actually. That looks okay. I mean, you have to understand that this engine hasn't done a lot of miles, so that looks okay. You know, for an amateur job. Perfect. I mean, who's to say how concentric it is, but you know, don't look bad, does it, really? To be honest, these ones on this side don't look too bad, because I think these were the first ones I did. Those ones on the other side looked a lot worse, but they're looking okay. Right, I will continue. You've seen me do these two. I will continue and do those two, but I won't bother setting the camera up for that because it'll just be more of the same. Okay, back in a bit. Hello. I've had a go at kind of blending this one a little bit. I used that tool that I was using for cutting the bowls, and it's done an okay job. But I think I might alter it so it's a shallower angle, and I think I might come out a little bit further as well to make the seat narrower. It's given me an idea of the way forward. That's the important thing. Yeah, can you see that these are much wider because I did a lot less work. Like that one there will take quite a cut, you know, to chamfer it. Okay, right, we're starting to look good. I mean, some of these exhaust ones are a bit narrow, aren't they? But I'm concentrating on the inlets for now. Okay, I will bring you back when there's more to show. Cheers then. Hello. I've done this first one, the first inlet, and I've done a nice blend on there now using this tool there, that tool, and I have used it on this second one here, and I'm trying to get them the same size. So these things here just about go into into the chamfer there, and it's possible, if you have this in the right angle, to just about get them rocking in there as well. Possibly it wants to go in a tiny bit more. No, that's about it there. I think that's about it. That's about the same. Close enough anyway for a first pass, and then if I can find a better way of doing it, I can do it again. It doesn't take very long actually. It's a nice simple operation. It's nice and quiet too, so it's the sort of thing you can do in the evening. People who build racing engines will probably say, oh no, there's a lot more you can do there, but I'm a bit shy of going through into the water jacket, because I think I've pushed these pretty far, to be honest. I think it's only the fact that this block hasn't got a lot of core shift has saved my bacon. Now this one here I haven't done yet, so you can see that those, you know, they're riding up the seat. So my intention is to open this one up to match the others. The first thing I have to do is fit this. This is the guide. So you'll get the idea of when I turn this, then I'm going to give the nut a little turn like that, and that pushes the tool down, you see, to force the cut. It's not difficult. This high-speed steel tool, cutting tool, cuts the valve seat material relatively easily. Just having a quick look, make sure I'm not going too far. Okay, let's offer the things up now and have a look. You might not be able to see them very well. The beauty of these is that they can take a reading with the tool in place. Okay, can you see that it's riding up the thing? It's riding up the seat. I want it so it goes into the new chamfer on both sides without riding up the seat on the other side. Let's offer the dividers in and see what they show us. Still just riding up the face a little bit of the seat, so go a bit more. Yeah, that's all right now, that's going in, and what I'll do, I'll take the tool out and I'll kind of put the camera there so I can show you that more closely. So that's it, I've just done that one, and I don't know how long it took. Okay, the camera's been running 11 minutes, so just clicked over to 12 minutes, so it's took approximately 12 minutes to do that one there. So these are my calipers, and I come in at a shallow angle like this, and what I'm doing is just trying to get it so they sit down in the chamfer just without riding up the seat. So I'd say that's okay. It does require a very delicate touch. It'll be interesting to see when I grind the valves in. It'll be interesting to see how wide the contact is, and if I've took too much off, or if I could even take a little bit more off. You don't know really till you grind the valve in. I have finished doing all the blend cuts on the inlets, and I've just done a very gentle blend on the exhausts as well. So as a test, I have put a guide in that one there, and just so it doesn't fall out, just I don't know, this is just pure luck, I put a long socket there to hold it up, because sometimes they can slide down when you're trying to use them. So there's the valve, and you can see what you would call a good pattern on the valve, a nice dull lapped pattern on the valve. And there's the seat, which I might struggle to show, and you can see a dull area towards the centre. Now I believe that that could actually be thinner than that. That could actually be thinner than that. But I'm not building an out and out race engine, so I think I might kind of stick at that. So there we are. All the valve seats are cut. I showed doing the blend on one of them. There, I blended all the exhausts a little bit, only a bit of a token gesture, and I've ground one valve in, and it's ground in nice. I think I can see the way forward now. The way forward is to do all the rest of the valves, and then I can look at the cam. Okay, thanks a lot then. Bye. Hello. I'm working my way through the block, and I'm going through the inlet valves, and I just want to show you what I've been doing. Basically, I'm taking the valve and grinding it in, and I hope you'll agree that this valve's got a nice grey area all around it. It only takes a few minutes, about 5 minutes. And this is the seat, and you can see the seat there has there's a grey area which is the contact area. And then what I've done, I've took the cutter here, the cutter, and I've opened the seat out to just leave a certain width. Now I read that a 1/16 of an inch is the ideal for inlets, so I've set my calipers to a completely random number that is not a 1/16, it's a little bit bigger than a 1/16. So I've been offering my calipers like that and measuring the width of that seat, and it's more like around about 70 thou, something like that. So I'm quite happy to run with that, and you can see there a seat that hasn't yet been ground. You can see that it looks quite a lot wider compared to that one. The job's going well, but as with everything on a V8, you know, when you got to do it 16 times, it doesn't matter if it's a relatively quick job, it still takes a long time, doesn't it? Okay, righto, I'll bring you back when there's more to show. That seat is a little bit wider than the calipers. So I'll set up the cutter, take a couple of licks out of it, then I'll show you what it looks like when I've finished, and it should look similar to that. Okay, back in a bit. Okay, I've just withdrawn the tool, and I haven't cleaned it up yet, but I thought I'd just show you the amount of cuttings down in there already, that the seat is narrower, you know, a little bit more like that. Okay, that looks more like it. I'm not pushing it to the nth degree. This isn't an out and out race motor, but I'm just trying to, you know, kind of follow recognised practices. I've started looking at the exhausts, and the recommended width for an exhaust seat is 332, which is 2.38 millimeters. So I set my caliper to 2.4 mil there. I've ground this first one, and I can see I haven't got the required width. It's not wide enough. I'm going to get the cutters out again and go a bit deeper with these valve seats on the exhausts, just to give them a bit more width. I'm happy with the inlets, they're all okay now. They're probably very, very slightly wide, but I'd rather go very, very slightly wide than too narrow. Okay, righto, there's always something, isn't there? Okay, I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Okay, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Hello, I'm still working on the valves and I've hit a little bit of a snag that I'm struggling to achieve enough seat width on the exhausts. I've cut the seats a bit deeper, just about getting a sort of print, but it's not quite as wide as I want. I think that one's okay, and I think that one's okay. Here are my calipers. This is set to 332. It's almost there. It's almost there. So I am proceeding, but what I'm doing, I'm kind of on this side. I've recut the seats. Now I don't know whether I'm supposed to, and what you can see that that seat is a lot narrower. That one there. Can you see it's a lot narrower? So I'm going to recut it to broaden it up so I've got a bit of a chance. The problem is, what I am aware of, I'm pushing the valves further down all the time, which isn't a great thing to do. But I've got to do something, and like I say, this isn't an all-out race motor. It's just hopefully a big inch motor that'll give good performance. Yeah, but yeah, it ought to have, hopefully, cross fingers, good reliability as well. So I'm going to cut this one now. What I've done differently on these ones is put oil on the cutter, which seems quite good because it tends to maintain all the cuttings in the vicinity. But I think it might be slightly kinder on my cutter though. I don't want it to wear out before I've finished the job. Well, I don't want it to wear out anyway because they're expensive. But so I'm going to cut this one. I won't bother filming it. I'll show you the valve lapping method, which is very a common thing, but I don't know, maybe people aren't that familiar with it these days. I've got a solid guide and a long socket. They go through there, and the socket just sits down into the tappet bore. Just sits in there, just purely by luck. I just stuck the thing onto this valve lapping sucker thing. I've got some valve grinding paste in the lid. So what I've been doing, just use a little brush just to put the... It saves doing it. It's better than doing it with your finger, because when you do it with your finger, it all gets on your fingers, and then you start touching the valve and the valve stem. But if you can do it like that and try and keep your hands clean. No, don't go mad with these, you're in the way a little bit. This stuff's a bit crap, to be honest. It kind of goes away to nothing straight away. Like that, I've got it on my fingers now. I'm trying to kind of spread some of it back from where it goes behind. I've been trying to just spread it back up onto the face. I'm just scraping the thing off a bit. I got some fine in the other cap. What I'm going to do now, just put a little bit of fine on it. I'll take the valve out, and there's all the valve grinding paste on the back. Well done. I've got like one piece of cloth that I only use for wiping the stuff, you know, the grinding compound off the seat and off the valve. Okay. So what I can see there, I don't know if you can see it on the camera. You can't see it very well where it's blown out with the light down here. But up here, what I'm doing, I'm offering my calipers in. About there. That ground part is just shy. I can't achieve my perfect number. I've got to go with a compromise, and that's my compromise. Like that. Okay. And what I'm trying to achieve there is 332, which is what I've read is recommended for exhaust valves. I don't know, I haven't got a lot of experience with this. I'm just kind of self-teaching as I go along. So there you can see the area that I've polished, that I've lapped rather. And it's just about there on the width that I'm trying to achieve. Just about there. So there you are, that's that part of the process. I've just kind of retrimmed all these seats. I've lapped that one. I've managed to achieve the width of seat that I want. What I might do off camera is just give it another little gentle lap, just improve the finish a little bit with a bit more fine. But I'll do that off camera. You don't need to see me that. You've seen the process. You put it in, you twizzle it back and forth, then you lift it, turn it, put it in, twizzle it back and forth, lift it, turn it, put it in, twizzle it back and forth. That's how you lap valves in. So I've got to clean all this mess and you know, do them all. Okay, righto. Thanks very much then. You take care, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.